Yeah, so indeed, we're here talking about the future of insurance CX in a lot of ways. The customer experience empowered by WhatsApp, AI, and automation. Every day, I feel more and more like the future is already right now. So a little anecdotal story again, another weather story from Texas, although it's not insurance. When the plane that we were flying out was arriving from Paris, got hit by a lightning strike. A lot of things happened in Texas, and there's a lot of delays. And what I found was engaging with the airline KLM um, on WhatsApp was really the fastest thing I could do because when all the chaos was going on, I could choose to wait in this huge line and try to talk to someone at the desk, try to figure out what was going on, or I could call um, the care center. But that's kind of hit and miss thing. And it did give me some comfort just to be able to just to chat on WhatsApp and have well, there were some automated responses, but I quickly got to a human, and that was it gave us some comfort that okay, I have a channel of getting some information in this really stressful time. And I think that's a lot of the things that WhatsApp with automation can do. It can bring that service um, to the customer right at the moment when they need it. So let's just keep going through, and we've already done some of the um, introductions. So a little bit more um, about Tactful. Looks like I'm having a little lag on the clicking, but that's fine. Tactful again has been around for about 8 years. It's been growing with the evolution of AI. It is a customer experience platform, so it's not only WhatsApp. It's Whale will show you more of that later on, but it's a way of integrating multiple channels, customer contact channels, applying automation with branded, personalized bots, integrated with your back office systems for personalized experience. And then it has a seamless handover to your human agents in the cases that's required. And it has all the analytics to support that. And we'll talk a little bit about this, the story of that on how those things are really, really important. What I would like to really highlight here is the changes in technology. I'm sure you are familiar with or you're using ChatGPT on a daily basis. That has been really a sea change shift in the people's interaction with technology and bots. In the past, go back 2 or 3 years ago, there was chat bots that were really stupid. They were frustrating, and basically, everyone was just trying to figure out how to get to a human faster because it was really just not helpful. People are more and more used to chatting to technology. So like I even asked ChatGPT, how long do you cook broccoli, and it's really part of my life, and being able to converse with technology is more and more and more common, which is really amazing because in the past AI was really very technical and you had to code, and now people can just talk to it. You can make a website by talking to technology, and that is what we're talking about today: is the ability to converse. Your customers can talk to you and your business enabled by technology. That's what this whole thing is about. And again, 2 years ago we were able to do that, but not nearly as well as we can now. And in a year from now, I'm sure it's just improving at an exponential pace. It is such an exciting time. Tactful is head office in the UK. Our CEO is based in the UK in Cambridge. He's an Egyptian gentleman, and a lot of the team is in Egypt, where Wael is sitting, and I'm over here in Europe. And we serve multiple industries. Wael will show you some of the insurance cases that we have, but we're also really big in e-commerce, and I focus a lot, at least here on the European side, also with hospitality and hotels, which is really nice because when we're doing high-end customer experience design for hotels, we bring those capabilities, that ethos, into other industries like insurance. So there's a lot of crossover in the designs and stuff like that. So um, let me just keep going. Let me see if I can the places and the ways and the domains in which um, I'm waiting for the screen to catch up. Um, where AI, automation, WhatsApp can support is in the initial engagement, with the, say the marketing, that initial touch point, that initial contact, obviously in sales, sales enablement, and very, very much in service. So there's different ways at that, those touch points in the customer journey where it's appropriate. And one thing that is just fantastic, another enabler of this is not in the US so much, but certainly in Europe and Africa, WhatsApp is a default go-to channel. Typically, most people in Africa and also in Europe would have WhatsApp implemented. The research I've read is that can be up to 95% penetration in Africa. And in South Africa, I'm not sure about the rest of the countries, but there's like over 1,000 interactions on WhatsApp per day. And, that's like over 30 contacts. So this is already in their life. And so it's almost like not being available by WhatsApp is you might not really be in their life, because it's you're in their pocket. It's super intimate. And then when they're searching for solutions, let's say insurance solutions, it will be an advantage if you as a provider are talking to them in the way that they like to engage and the way they like to connect. So let's walk through that a little bit more. After I present a little bit of the concepts and the possibilities, Wael will jump in and do some live demo. I would remind you that if you have questions, drop them in the chat. Actually, will interrupt me here. One of the powers of this type of technology is it's unifying. And so regardless of the touch point of where that customer is on the customer journey, you can bring this into the life of your employees seamlessly. And so to be, regardless of the channel, there's a portal where, say, your pre-sales people, your sales, your claims people, you can route the right conversation to the right people. And having all of that converge and have that sort of 360-degree view of the customer is extremely powerful. So what it solves on the customer experience side is they're not bouncing around to different things. It's coming into the single place, and you can get that to the right, so let's call it agent, or the right person who can respond it in the fastest way possible. That's related to the routing. So based on the need of the moment, because of course, let's say someone, a customer has been with you for a number of years, they're going to have a number of different needs over time. And some of those needs would be able to be automated, which I'll talk a little bit about on the next slide. So depending on if it's, hey, I just need, tell me a little bit something about my policy, something that the system can look on its own, kind of yes and no, how to contact, I need to, provide some documentation. You can provide this, automated support. It's always on. It's 24/7. It's multi-language, and so it's really a sort of democratizing the accessibility across time, language, culture, and these are things that we wouldn't have really been able to do before, because you'd be limited to either the language and the time available of the call center or the sales force, or which is super powerful. And it's, for me, we really try to focus on, of course, there's cost savings in that. But the powerful thing is increasing the experience and the satisfaction and the service for your customer. And there are insurance companies that are working on this. So, and quite advanced. And also in different parts of the world. So this is not only a European thing, so to speak. Like AXA Insurance in Mexico and Asia are really leaning into this on claims reporting and service. So it's not really a support thing for them, but it's what they're doing is getting measurably higher satisfaction, so Net Promoter Score, because they have this sort of hands-off self-service, bring it to the customer at the right time. And it's really, really paying off. It's exciting stuff. Let me see if I'm missing. Sorry, I'm trying to get through. Here we go. Hopefully I'm catching up here as well. Um, yeah, and not only is it helpful for um, the customers, so being at the right place, the right time in their language. Um, and we're talking about WhatsApp, but it could also be in a web chat. It could be on social. It could be really where they want to to engage with you. It's also very helpful for the staff, like we said, with the unified inbox and getting the right query routed to them at the right time. But it's also super helpful for managers. So managers can not only monitor and observe the interactions of the bot, so you can. It's really fascinating to see. We have some e-commerce customers that have thousands of contacts per day, and it's really it can be kind of a waterfall of when you watch it's kind of like a waterfall of interaction. It's amazing how much is going on, also in an automated way. But then when things are going wrong, how do you get the manager involved fast? And that can come in different ways. Either the manager is just observing how the bot is interacting, so you can really see how it's answering. And if something's going wrong, and sometimes it does, you can kind of barge in and take it away from the bot, or assign it to a human. Or if there's a human talking, that human can escalate it and say, "Hey, manager, I need some help. Can you look at this? I'm not quite sure what to do. This is this compliant? Is this whatever the question is." And then obviously there's later there's the operational insights of um, how did we perform, and because this is all data based, we have the data. We know who the customer is. We know which intent they've been asking about, whether it's a marketing, what type of, for example, for insurance that they've been asking. We know what kind of questions they've been asking. We know their sentiment, like, okay, were they really curious? Were they giving, legitimate buying signals? Were they frustrated? We know um, how the different agents were performing. We know how things were converting, and so you have this basis of data that you can continuously improve. And that's one of the things that I like to close on is um, in order to really make this work, you have to. It's not something you can just simply launch generically, because it has so much to do with your brand, your position. Because in a lot of times, and this is a preference of consumers more and more, um, certainly the younger generations, they will prefer to do a self-service engagement to orient before they want to talk to a human. Maybe the older generations that they would do it the other way around. They want to talk to a human in order to trust you before they would do self-service. The younger generations is definitely the other way around, and therefore, because the first touch point is going to be automated on WhatsApp, you really need to bring your brand position into that. Um, in my research, I'm not sure if somebody's from that company online, but Bima in Ghana, Tanzania, their position apparently on my research was to provide insurance products to, shall we say, lower income customers, and this enabled them to do it to provide insurance at a much lower cost in a way that those customers, it was really on point. It was really interesting to see on point for how those customers wanted to interact. And so they made that conscious choice of who their target segment is and how to deliver that in a branded way through the channel that their customer was most comfortable with. And it was and this, yeah, I'll hand it over to Wael soon, and he's going to explain a little bit about um, um, conceptually the platform that's behind all this, and then show a few of the actual live cases. But I would like just to pause to see if there's any questions coming from anyone right now. Is there anything going on in chat?
Nothing yet. If anyone's got a question, please feel free to drop in the chat or even just unmute your mic and throw the question at either Chris or Weil. So maybe Chris, while we're waiting for
Great.
some
Well,
questions,
yeah.
maybe
Hmm.
I wanted to throw a question at you. Were you surprised by the results where WhatsApp isn't as heavy on the customer interaction list from the slider?
Um, I was surprised by the differentiation because the second question, there was somebody who was high,
Hmm.
had some high maturity, that they were already in the Terminator level.
Yeah.
Um, while the first score seemed like that there was very, very low penetration. Um, Surprised. Voice and email are very traditional channels, and also online forms in the call center. Um, Maybe another question would have been was what is your ambition for that? Because what we're
Hmm.
seeing is a lot of adoption,
Right.
and so maybe it's currently not there, which wasn't maybe too surprising. Um, and I think we've doubled the number of people on the call right now, so maybe those the scores would have been a little bit different.
Fair enough.
Um, we do see that there is kind of an innovator mindset. So people that maybe their brand or their own personality are um, open to take a little bit more risk and explore a little bit in order to create a solid business case.
Hmm.
Um, Other people wisely because it's in their personality or their brand are a little bit more following. So then once it's established a little bit,
Right. Right.
um, what I would say is when you launch a new interaction channel, you can't simply just launch it and if you build it, people will come. You will have to promote it. I mean, you'll have to announce it on your website that hey,
Hmm.
on the contact us, you should put the WhatsApp channel up above. So it's just like KLM did. That's how I learned about it.
Sure.
Is and because I was looking for how to call, but then the WhatsApp was there, and okay, that's more convenient for me right now, so I went for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
maybe some campaigns. So there's effort there. But was I surprised? Not hugely surprised,
Okay.
because this is really really emerging. So were you surprised?
Yeah, a bit. I actually thought that WhatsApp would be a bit more heavily used, but maybe it's got to do with the distortion of the participants. But what you mentioned around awareness and communication campaigns, I think that leads us nicely into the question that Sarah from Sanlam has posed in terms of you talked about the younger generations wanting to have self-service and just figure stuff out by themselves before they speak to a human. So her question is, how do we bridge the way we communicate and use tools like WhatsApp with different communication preferences, different mindsets around how they want to be served?
Well, for me, my strong advice is make a decision of your target segment um, up front. Meaning, if you're targeting a certain segment, either high income, low income, if you're targeting a certain generation, either with your main brand or sub brand, and then design the experience for that. I think that the best, most powerful way is to have a very clear definition of your target customer and design the experience, design the channels, design the touch points, design the interaction for that.
Yeah.
If you're a very generic carrier or broker and you have a very wide, almost by definition, it's going to be less on point because you're going to be serving um, more segments. In that case, where I think what you really need to do is um, um, present the different communication interaction channels side by side, and then really allow the the consumer to choose the path that they want, and then have those things available. So if you have a lot of older generation, you're going to need to have maybe even office where they can come and visit, or whatever that touch point is. And if you have a lot of younger, then you're going to have that digital channel, because eventually they will want to talk to someone as well. It's just kind of a different order. That's my thought. So
Great. Fantastic. Okay.
Great. Am I still
No more.
sharing or?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
We can continue. No more questions for now.
we'll keep them coming. So, well, I'll hand over to you, and I think we've got two more slides on this, and then
Yeah. Then we'll move to the live demo.
yeah,
So I'll just follow on Sarah's question. If you are actually going generic and dealing with different generations, that's what we are seeing right now. Actually, that's what we are providing, and that's the customer experience that we are providing. So let me start from this point. What Tactful actually offers for the customers to enhance the customer experience. The first solution, actually, that's the omni-channel. The omni-channel is a one unified system that you can deal with different channels. So if you're dealing with different generation, different cultures, so you have some customers prefer WhatsApp, some others prefer social media, for example, others come from website and would like to use the website chats, and some corporates prefer the email, and the voice will be there now, and I believe at least for the coming 10 or 20 years, the voice contact center will be there. So that's the concept of the omni-channel that we're providing. We're going to see it in a demo, but here's the screenshot. Providing one unified solution, one single pane of glass that aggregates all the communication with the customers between across different channels. So we don't need as a company to jump between channels and respond from the WhatsApp and then go to the Meta inbox to respond to the social media and check the Outlook for the email and so on and so forth. All of these conversations comes into one solution as we see, and I can interact with the customers, or if I'm activating some automations and AI and chatbots interacts with the customer, and all of the history and conversation history appears here. So we are supporting the interactions across the entire customer journey across all of the digital channels. Can we jump to the next slide?
jumping.
Okay, here is one of the customers in the insurance, which is VAS based in Netherlands. We've been working with VAS almost 2 years ago, and we're supporting there the English and Dutch, and supporting the WhatsApp and the other channels as well. It's not only the WhatsApp, as I mentioned in the previous slide, but mainly focusing on the WhatsApp. It's not only, as we're going to see in the demo, and we will see part of this live environment in the demo, by the way. It's not only responding to the FAQs. We are automating processes like the booking appointment through the sales, like the reporting damage, claim tracking, and lots of use cases. And this actually we provided significant impact, and provided both enhanced both the customer experience and reduced also the cost of providing the support and 24 by 7 support, as the insurance, it should be always ready with your customers. So I think any more slides or I'll share?
No, it's you can share. I think that the problem statement of Boss, because I worked on that, but go ahead and share it while and set yourself up. Going back to the choose your customer and be very deliberate, is his team serves entrepreneurs and small businesses. So being 24/7 available, also for booking appointments and also for say, damage and claim handling. And his other problem is in the Netherlands, it's really hard to find staff. And so what he was constricted with is a growing business with staff constraints. And so this is where he started really leaning into automation, not only in a way that served the customer expectations, but just efficiently, and it just helps him scale his business that way. Really nice. So, Wael, over to you.
Okay, I'll take a very quick customer journey across WhatsApp, and then we're going to jump to the business side and see how does it work in the back end, and how can we interact with the customers and set all of this and get a glimpse about the reporting, the traditional reporting or the AI reporting. So it is an example of insurance, WhatsApp. For sure, I can go and browse and list my services, my frequently asked questions, my policies, my contacts, or whatever. So I can go and pick from the browsing. Like, for example, let me know individual solutions. And then I'd like to get more information about the car insurance. And then getting information about a specific program or service. So this is the browsing. So the customer can browse and get the information easily. And it's not only limited for browsing. We need to utilize the AI and the AI capabilities to respond to customers using the natural language. So let me ask about something like one of the use cases that's for prospect customers that they are asking about our products and services. So let me ask something like, do you provide life insurance? So the customer can browse and reach easily to the information and can ask using the natural language. And in this case, the AI will fetch the data and respond to the customers with the answer. One of the points, actually, even the tone, like giving the tone to the AI to respond like formally, friendly, give comprehensive information, give concise information. All of this can be done easily, and you can set it per channel. So, for example, you can say to the AI, be friendly on the WhatsApp and more formal on the website. Can set a WhatsApp support bot and a social media sales bot, for example. So this is the information. Let me get this question. And one of the points, actually, the multi-language. As I mentioned, unfortunately, I failed to learn Swahili, so I will use the Google Translator for this. So we can respond in more than 80 languages, and it doesn't need a huge of effort actually to do this. So let's just confirm. Yeah, learned Swahili more than faster than me. So here is the same example. I'm asking with another language. The first thing that actually the system already detected the language and responded with the language, the customer language. So I can go back right now to English or switch to other language seamlessly. So this is an example that we can provide information about like the sales, our products, like information, generic information about how can I apply for a job, what are the terms and conditions, and so on and so forth. Let me give another example of something that we can automate. It's not limited just to giving a straightforward information and a direct answer. So let me get something like I submitted a claim 3 days ago, and I would like to know its status. One of the major and most common processes in the insurance is the claim submission and tracking. So we need to automate this and get out of the hassle of responding to the customers and the customer frequently asking, and we go to some systems and check and respond to the customer. So in this case, it's not only a direct answer. So we need to get some information from the customer to respond to the customer. And in this case, we'll need to integrate with the backend system and provide the accurate and the latest updated information to the customer. So this is an example. Let me give claim number 2. And we're going to see in minutes how do we set this using the automation studio. So we can add something like authentication factor. In this case, yeah, we are giving something for the customer to that we are going to process your information, like to continue, yeah, like to track the claim. Can give options like give updates on the claim, OTP confirmation either by WhatsApp or whatever. So in this case, it fetches the information from the backend system and responds to the customer with the claim status. So this is another example. We can do this by menus. The customer wants using the WhatsApp. I can click on track claim and enter my information, and I can use my natural language in any language. It's not strict to English to get the latest information about my claim or whatsoever. So let me give another example about some of the automation. It's not only a direct inquiry. Let me get it from one of our live customers, Bus, like I don't know, reporting damage. Yeah. Let me report a damage. So again, it's not the automation and the customer experience. It's not only a chatbot that gives the customer answers about address or frequently asked questions or whatever. It should provide actually the full customer experience and supports the full and the whole customer journey. And again, across different channels, maybe you are focusing on the WhatsApp, but we shouldn't neglect the other channels like the social media and so on. So this is, let me report the damage.
While we're waiting for this, can I throw in a question? I think WhatsApp has a message expiry, right? So what happens in the case where customer takes too long to respond to the options? How does that get handled?
Well, we are going to see this in a few minutes, but yeah, they have a 24 hours window. So in this case, if the customer didn't respond and would like to reach out to the customer again, we use a predefined template messages. We're going to see this. So we can deactivate the conversation with the customer. If the customer is going to respond to us at any time, there is no issues. The issue is the customer, there is no conversation within the last 24 hours. So we need to send they call a template message, and that's a predefined template message. And within a couple of minutes, we are going to see it.
I think the session expires on the WhatsApp side, but the conversation doesn't disappear. So the
Yeah,
conversation
yeah,
will stay
yeah.
in the
For
history. Yeah.
for the history, yeah. So this is an example. Again, all of this information we can add, update, and something like validation. For example, the date we can pick it, just pick a date. The time can pick a time. So let me myself.
And with the boss team, this is all designed based on the information they need to gather, of course, to
Yeah.
they're multi-carrier broker, and they need to collect all this data and verify all this data, which is really helpful for them. So then they have all the data on hand, so they can then submit it to the carrier on behalf of the customer.
So related to that, there's a question around in order to get this level of functionality, how much effort is there required to train the model? Is that done through integrations with their the core business systems? What does it take for the AI to become intelligent rather than dumb?
Well, yeah. Let me answer in different sections. For the AI to understand the language, it already understands the languages. So we define it as understand the customer or the user intent. So in the first example, my intent is to ask about a program. So it provides me the answer in the format of this is the answer for your program. In the second example, I was asking about the same program, but in Swahili. So it responded in Swahili. That's already something that the AI understands. The main training that we need to provide to the AI is how to respond. So I'm asking you, how many people right now in the room? So you understand me, but you need to count the people in the room to respond to me with this. So talking about this, it doesn't take actually much of time, and maybe if we have time, we can see it in the dashboard. But we can train the AI with different things, like providing documents if we have it something in the document, like entering the FAQs and our products and services and so on and so forth, or by even providing training websites links. So we can add multiple websites link. So if we have our websites, this is tactful.ai services, and this is the products, and this is the policies. Okay, go ahead, answer from this. So it doesn't require time. For something like the integrations to automate some of the processes, we need, yeah, to scope what the processes and depends on these systems that we can provide the integration. But typically, without integrations and providing the answers for the frequently asked questions and automate even some of the standalone processes like collecting a ticket and so on, it takes less than 1 week actually to be up and running and live and launched to the customer. So here, before I'll jump to the business side. Any questions here? Let's pause for just a few seconds. If someone has any question, post on the chat. Okay. Here is what was mentioned, that we have an omni-channel unified solution. So here in the business side, not on the customer side, I can see all of the conversations across different channels. It came from WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, website, Facebook comments. We'll find the Instagram and all of the channels here in one unified solution. Me as an agent, I can usually see only the assigned conversations for me that needs to be handled by human agent. And this is the full history. That's the question that you have asked about, Akshay. I can see the full history even from several months ago. And on the right side, I can see the full customer 360. So I can see the customer information, email, if I have the email number. I can see tickets, and I can submit tickets to the customer complaining about something, or like to get someone from the B2B team to talk to the customer. So I can submit tickets from here, and I can submit transactions. So something like the customer policies within the integrations, I can see all the customer policies with information here. And from here, I can respond to the customer, getting the answer from the quick responses and canned responses to make it easier for me to send to the customer or type it myself. For sure, I can attach. And here is the template actually that we have talked about. So if you have something like template messages, predefined messages, WhatsApp messages to the customer, this templates actually we use in 3 cases. One of them, the customer didn't interact with us across the last and the past 24 hours. So we'd like to re-engage with the customer. And based on the WhatsApp policy, we should use one of the templates. So this is, for example, and we can customize the variables like the name and date and so on. Another one actually is to use it by automation system. We don't need to send it manually. For example, your claim has been approved. So with the integration with the claim management system, once the claim is marked as approved on the claim management system, could send directly a WhatsApp to the customer that your claim has been approved, your claim needs more information, and something like that. And the final thing, actually, that although based on the poll status on the phone, it can be used on the call deflection. Many of the customers actually do call deflections from the voice contact center to the digital channels, particularly WhatsApp. So once I call the contact center, it gives me the option either to go to the WhatsApp and it sends me template message and sheets and conversations with me. And the other one is to wait on the queue and continue with the voice contact center. In this case, any customer actually who prefers to get a faster and automated customer service, he or she will go to the WhatsApp, and for sure some of the customers will prefer to continue on the voice contact center. So that's here. I think that we're running out of time, so I'll give just very quick uh, info and very quick glimpse about the Automation Studio, that all of what we have seen, like responding to the customer, like getting the information from the claim management system, and all of this is done by the Automation Studio. As you'll see here, we're not going to jump into technical details, but as you see, it's a drag and drop studio. So you can easily customize, add validations, like verifications, like choose what to do when any action happens. Like when the customer is asking about the claim, we are going to fetch the information from a third-party system. When a customer complains, we are going to send an email for the manager to take care of this. So something like sending a survey to the customer and to measure the customer satisfaction after certain service or after the chat with the business or whatever. So we can do this from here. So the change actually needs sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, but not months and years. Actually, that's what we used to do when dealing with different softwares. In just a couple of minutes, I'll go and present some of the reports. So this is an example of the reports. That's a quantitative report that measures the customer satisfaction using the survey that's pushed to the customer after the conversation or after a certain service. Can get the CSAT score, and also we can analyze what's the root cause of the unsatisfied customers, and we can get it here. This is, as I've mentioned, it's not only a chatbot, it's a full solution that provides the automation and provides the human chat and with between the agent and the business. So we can even measure all of the conversation, the first response time by the human, the average handle time, and all of the well-known contact center metrics. Final two reports actually have been done by the AI. That's totally done by the AI, no human interaction on this. We can analyze all of the conversations and provide something like classifying for the message, why the customer contact us actually. So we can detect this as inquiry about our products and services, payments, address, or whatever, and classify all of the conversations, why the customer contacted us, and we can filter and sort and choose per channel. So the customers, the WhatsApp contacting us for mainly for support, and the social media maybe for complaints, and on the website for the sales. So we can analyze and segregate by any of the channels, can analyze the customer sentiment. The customer here didn't submit any complaint, but this sentiment itself showed that's an unsatisfied customer. So we can get by the customer sentiment also the root cause. So we can get something like, let's filter by the negative sentiment only, and that's the broken promises. Can see that's the customer that they say this business is breaking the promises, and we can see all of this. Final ones about the sales. The AI can act as a sales advisor as well, analyze all the conversations, and highlights for us where are the missing opportunities, where are the missing sales opportunities that we have the potential to close and recover with the customer. So it gives me, this is confirmed sales, this is lost sales, and the reason also the lost sales, is it a processes, is it a salesperson attitude, for example, is it something out of stock or a service that we are not providing, and we can get it by channel, by agent, and by so on, with and ends up with a detailed report of the sales. The sales with a lead score. You can filter also here by the lead score, and that actually helps us to recover the sales opportunities and secure and close the missed opportunities as actual sales with the customers. Think that I'm trying to run fast, so if there are any questions before I hand on to Chris, either by mic, by chat.
Yeah, we're just seeing a few people dropping off. Are there any questions from any of the participants?
Yeah, I see. It's WhatsApp AI integrated to the main business system
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
order to.
If I,
those
I,
those questions we've covered off.
I think
Mhm.
in absence of a question, maybe we can close with a little piece of some advice. One of the things that we've already covered is being very intentional. And by intentional, knowing who your customer is and the problem you're solving for the customer from the outside in, the customer journey process, which of course has to be married to your internal process. And so whether it's a marketing, a pre-sales, a sales, call it a support or a claim, those will go to different parts. But from a customer perspective, that's, they're just seeing you as one participant in their life. And what this allows, you can be that participant in their life, but support that from the appropriate system or people in the right team. So being very, very intentional. Going back to the training question, of course, there's some, systems these days have API interaction, be able to integrate with APIs, which makes that all very, very easy. However, as the quality of your knowledge documentation, so imagine basically it's your training material. So if you're thinking about training a machine, it's going to be only good as the material you have to train your person, the humans, because with AI now it can consume that. So if you have training manuals, you have PDFs, you have even process documentation, it can learn from all that kind of stuff. And I would actually, the third piece is view this as a member of your team, because let's say that you are a claims handling team, and now you have this 24/7 multilingual agent that can interact with your customers as part of your team. It needs to be trained in the same way for consistency, and you need to be very clear on, okay, this is what the machine will handle only. So actually we won't talk to the customer about that anymore as people. That's only machine. And this is the stuff that has to be talked to, by customer, like a human. And then there's going to be some gray area in there, and then manage that continuous improvement. So see this as an assistant, a superpowered assistant in your team, and manage and continuously improve. That is where we see the most success. And of course, I wouldn't say necessarily start small, but start simple. If you throw too much complexity in at once, you're not going to be able to really analyze the analytics to see that that you're getting the efficiency and the performance. So start with simple, the happy path, the most common problems. Start with there first and then grow into it, because it's really a mindset maturity thing, but it can be so incredibly valuable. So those are just my closing comments. So actually